Hi everyone. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
I am with the brilliant Akiko and Barney. I'm so glad to be seeing you two again. They'll be doing the physical theater training retreat happening at WildHeart from May 29th to May 31st. This is the second time they're doing it. I was actually a part of the first time that they did it back in 2024, and it was fabulous, but I'll let them talk. If you
Yeah.
guys kind of state your name, introduce yourselves, how would you like to describe yourself to the world?
Okay, I go. Hi. First of all, thank you for having me, Melissa. Nice to meet you again. See you again. My name is Akiko. My pronouns are she, her. I'm originally from Japan and I'm living in New York City now. And I am a theater actor. Bunny, go.
Hello. Good to see you again, Melissa and Akiko. I'm Barney. I am in Brooklyn, New York. I am a former SITI Company member, as is Akiko, and I'm a full-on theater person and have been for a very long, long, long time.
Yay, awesome. Two brilliant theater makers. The physical theater training is based on the Suzuki and Viewpoints training that but you both specialize in. Would you mind telling me your background that you have with Suzuki and Viewpoints, and also how you two met, like officially?
Bunny, go.
Okay. I first encountered the Viewpoints my freshman year at drama school at NYU's Tisch School of the Arts. I was doing a student production, and the director and a couple of the actors were from the experimental theater wing at NYU, and the Viewpoints were core training for the experimental theater wing students. And so I first encountered Viewpoints practices through that show. And then 2 years later, Anne Bogart was guest director, and I was cast in her show. And the Viewpoints were the foundation of everything we did in terms of creation and performance of that show. And then years later, I'd been working with Anne, and she and Tadashi Suzuki got together and decided to make an American company. And I was invited to join that company, which meant I had to learn the Suzuki training. So the very first show I did with SITI Company, I took over a role by Tony Award-winning Jefferson Mays in our production of Small Lives, Big Dreams. So I would go to the studio to learn Suzuki training and to take class in Suzuki training. And then I would go to my job back then when I had a day job. And then I would rehearse the show at night. And gradually, these two trainings just became part of who we were as a company and how we shared our work with the world. Akiko.
Yes, I started Suzuki training in 1987 as a member of Suzuki Company of Toga. Its short name is Scott. And I was with the company for 7 years. And then with the city company for 26 years. So almost 40 years of training. And I encounter this viewpoint training in 1995. So it's been almost 30 years with the city company. And Tina Lando, Mary Overy, Wendell Beaver, a lot of mentor. And these two physical training is my backbone of as an actor. We met in 1995 when I went to the Skidmore Summer Intensive as a student. And Barney was um, my teacher, and I fell in love with his class. It was so much fun. And I I never remember, Barney told me on the some break, in the break, uh, I wanted to work with you, Akiko. And I said, whoa, that's great. And at that time, I never thought I would have joined the city company. But it happened 2 years later.
Gosh, I didn't know
I
that you were
made
first her teacher. Crazy.
Yeah, I actually made a piece for SITI Company. It was a dance theater piece called Systems Layers. And partially it was created because I wanted to feature Akiko.
Such
Ah,
an honor.
yeah. That's amazing. I love that. What a great backstory. Now, with you've talked a little bit about the Suzuki and Viewpoints training that you had. I'd love to know a little bit more. So, Akiko, Suzuki is known for its rigor. What does
Mm.
that intensity unlock in a performer that you would say other methods don't?
What I can say is that Suzuki training really strengthened my body, my voice, and my mind. And it builds a kind of discipline and presence that stays with me, which is really beneficial. I would say Suzuki training is physical menu is really simple. So if you got into it with your commitment, it's getting really deeper and deeper and deeper, which is really attractive. And then that's why I'm I've been training continuously.
Is there a performance that kind of this training really kicked into your body and mind, the way that you were describing?
After leaving the Suzuki company of Toga, and I came into America, and it's not required, but my body knows the training, and maybe some example, the Chuck meets Bob Rauschenberg America. And I was wearing a pink bikini for 90 minutes show and talking about the sex and the relationship and yalla, yalla, yalla. And I wear the heavy makeup and a fake eyelash and it's like, meow, 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 meow. But I really, really felt privileged. I have the experience of the Suzuki training because that kind of perky character, I should be grounded with the high heel and yeah, unusually not me character, but grounded, plus working on my presence on the stage. So sometimes when I'm coming in my tension go to the upper body, I was thinking of the from outside of me, I was thinking of the Suzuki training. How's my breathing, my vertical line, or how's my lower body?
It did. Thank you. I
Mm.
wish I could have seen that performance. Sounds incredible.
It was that Bob Rauschenberg America was a big, sort of a big hit for us. It had a long life.
Yeah, I definitely understand. Oh,
Mm.
that's so awesome. So
Yeah,
many
yeah.
performances with the SITI Company that you guys did over the years. Barney, for Viewpoints, how would you
Mm.
say Viewpoints changes the way performers listen to each other or influences how performers listen to each other?
Well, I mean, the sort of one of the basic tenets uh, underlying the Viewpoints practice is what I would call embodied awareness. It's really cultivating this intense awareness through all five senses. And Akiko talked about presence. Ultimately, both of these trainings are about being present. And listening is so much a part of the practice, and not just listening with the ears, but listening with the entire being. And once one dilates that sense of listening, one finds each other or finds the group, and you can really find inspiration both individually as an individual artist, but also collectively as the ensemble. And so it's incredibly beneficial in terms of how one is in oneself and with others.
And remind us the 6 viewpoints of the
60
practice.
points: space, shape, time, emotion, movement, and story. 6.
Do you have a favorite one you like to work with?
It depends on the day or the minute, actually, or the second. Usually space. I love space, like I love space, but also shape. But I also love movement. I mean, I love them all
Yeah.
equally, equally.
How do these two forms complement each other, you would say? I know you touched a little bit while you were describing your viewpoints, but I'd love for you to
Yeah,
expand on it.
yeah, they're very different, but they are incredibly complementary. So if we think of a coin has two sides. And in terms of, I will only speak of American or U.S. acting traditions. We come from the method, which is deeply emotional and psychologically based. And so we know how to do that already. So SITI Company, with both of these trainings, flip the coin over and ask the question, well, what if we prioritize the body? What if the source for our acting and for our creation was the body? And so that's where these two trainings really met. There was an emphasis on the body as means of expression. So if you took away the set, the lights, the costumes, the script, the director, the sound design, the light design, what you're left with is the actor's body in space. And the question is, what is the potential in that body, or bodies plural? And so these two trainings go about answering that question. What can this body do? And one is quote unquote very free, and the other is very, very formal. And there's something beautiful about that how they complement each other.
Yeah, and then Barney and I were working together decades, and in the SITI Company, Saratoga International Theater Institute. And SITI Company didn't invent uh, either of trainings. Suzuki training is from Mr. Tadashi Suzuki and his company members. And then Six Viewpoints is, of course, Mary Overy. And what SITI Company has done is not combining, both complement each other thing. And then we found the beauty in it. That's what we are really proud of.
We championed these two trainings as our core training. We didn't invent them, but putting them together or next to each other created something else that was exponentially valuable to us.
In my personal experience, I because I started Suzuki training first, and then later Viewpoints coming in, it's a huge, huge difference, impact on my artistic life. And in Suzuki training, I was young, younger, and I was really focused on presence on the stage and really straight line, and then loud and strong and really powerful animal energy I've been focused on. And then viewpoints coming in, I, how to say, I kind of learned how to disappear with the presence, but how to disappear. And the more awareness, yeah, I love the word awareness. Awareness, the surrounding me, which is really, really good as a human being too, I think. Not me.
Yeah, and I'm just going to repeat sort of the same story in reverse. I came from the viewpoints world, so my first exposure to that practice was when I was 18 years old. And then in my mid to late 20s, I started the Suzuki training. And so I was very up, very light, very off the ground. And the Suzuki training was asking me to go in the other direction, to get really earthbound. And at first I was like, no way, it's not going to happen. But what happened as a result of me trying to go the other way, to get connected to the earth, to get stable, was that it increased the potential of how I might express myself as an actor.
That's awesome. Wow. Yeah, really different stories, but ended up in the same center. In regards to this retreat they're going to be hosting at WildHeart, what can people expect at the Physical Theater Training Suzuki Viewpoints retreat?
First of all, it's absolutely beautiful there. It's so beautiful. Just a natural environment. The studio itself is unbelievably beautiful. And it's surrounded by beautiful nature. And the hosts, Neva and Rafs, are unbelievably generous hosts, unbelievably generous hosts. And it's just such the perfect environment to sort of put away our regular life and just have a chance to come together in a gorgeous, gorgeous environment and play and work and talk and share over meals. Even we have communal meals, and so it's really a wonderfully brief but rich weekend. And it's one of my favorite things, and I can't wait to have this weekend again.
I totally agree. Barney mentioned everything what I want to say. I'm really looking forward to it.
It was a really fun weekend the first time I did it, and especially the kind of the rigor of the classes as well. I really like the way that you guys structured it. And also we had some time to play, like you were saying. Thank you, Akiko. Thank you, Barney, thank you for taking the time to speak with me. I hope you guys are able to come to the physical theater training happening May 29th to May 31st at WildHeart. You'll be able to get trained by these two beautiful humans at WildHeart. Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Until next time.
Bye.
See ya.